What up, the Lions Nation Unite? It's your boy Easy, and I'm here to update you guys on the Aiden Hutchinson incident that happened Sunday against the 47-9 routing of the Dallas Cowboys. Dan Campbell just got done off the podium. Officially, Aiden Hutchinson's injury is 4 to 6 months of recovery. However, Dan Campbell did make sure to mention that he would never count Aiden Hutchinson out. What does that mean in the future? I can't say. We can only watch the story play out as it is. However, I know there's a bunch of speculations going on around Lions Nation and the One Pride community as who will the Detroit Lions replace Aiden Hutchinson with. And I just want to say this first and foremost: there is no replacing Aiden Hutchinson. There isn't. At least to the caliber of tier that he was on this year. Number one in pressures, number one in sacks, number one in snap counts. I mean, this guy was an absolute monster. He could have very well been on his way to Defensive Player of the Year trophy. I mean, to look at the way that he went out, it was on a sack in itself. He broke his leg and still finished his second sack of the game. Regardless, Dan Campbell did make sure to mention, though, his confidence still remains in Aaron Glenn. He's coached his team up with just multiple different facets, multiple different looks, who they have in the defensive line. He did speak to Brad Holmes, kind of campaigning around and trying to acquire another player to help fill the void of having Aiden Hutchinson in absence. He didn't speak to any names, obviously, but he wanted to reiterate that Brad Holmes is always doing that. That is part of his job. He is every waking moment working on making this team better for the now and for the future. My personal belief, though, I do expect these Detroit Lions to make a move. I don't know how the severity of it. I know Adam Schefter was live on the Pat McAfee show, and he speculated as he was live. He got got a buzz on his phone while he was live on the Pat McAfee show, and they asked was some news going on? And he was like, yeah, man. He didn't say per se, I guess I should say. They asked, hey, was that somebody speculating on what the Detroit Lions are going to do? And he just said that they're good at their jobs, meaning confirming Detroit Lions are looking around. A couple of names that we've already talked about the Detroit Lions acquiring even before Aiden Hutchinson's injury that I want to go over with you guys. One of the ones that I'm looking forward to, or I'm very least curious and peeping in, see what the price is. Trey Hendrickson with the Cincinnati Bengals. That is a team that once had a high trajectory or high expectations, but I think you heard their leader Joe Burrow speak just last week that right now they're not a Super Bowl team. They're just not. He's also in a contract year. He wanted to be traded in the offseason. I think that's a guy you stop in and look at. Zadarius Smith with the Cleveland Browns. That's a name that I also been looking at. I think I favored him a little bit more while Hutch was on the field because I've always felt he was like a Robin to a Batman. If you looked at him in a situation in Baltimore, in Cleveland right now, next to Myles Garrett, I think he fit that role, and you need Aiden Hutchinson to kind of help complete that. I don't know if he's going to be your number one guy, but it doesn't help to have bodies nonetheless. Moving on, another name mentioned, Hassan Reddick. I know that's one people are talking about. The Jets are currently 2-3. They play tonight on Monday Night Football. They just fired the defensive coordinator and head coach, Rob Salah. Who knows what's going on with that situation, if he's returning or not. He just hired Drew Rosenhaus, the super agent, if you will. And they're going to figure out what's going on with him and the Jets moving forward. I think the fact that he hired a agent means that he's looking forward to playing football at some point this season. Whether it's not for the Jets, we don't know. We have to find out. But he's interested in playing football this season. Maybe that could be a situation where it's for the Detroit Lions. However, I want to get my hopes up for that one. I think he's more expecting a payday along with that, him playing, which I'm not mad at him for. I truly can't be. Another name I heard throughout the weekend, Trayvon Walker. I'd be open to that. That conversation, again, was a lot more fun when you looked at him as a pairing alongside Aiden Hutchinson. But we're at the point now where you need someone who can command those double teams. You just do. I think Lee McNeil can win one-on-ones. I think DJ Reader can command double teams. Give me somebody who can either command a double team themselves, but also win these one-on-one reps. Also, just my personal opinion, I think they're going to look for someone who could actually stop the run. And no offense to any names I'm mentioning, but I just think that's a type of defensive end they look for. They never really got the fast, flashy guys. I mean, look at a guy like James Houston and how much work he had to put in to even get his reps his rookie year when he's actually performing, and he was still kind of limited in that fashion. So I think they're looking for the more bigger bodied guys like a Josh Pascal. I mean, even put Levi Zarek on the outside there, John Kaminsky. So Trayvon Walker, I think, fits that mold. A couple guys they're also talking about. I just going here off a Pride of Detroit list they have made. These guys are more so Sam linebackers, but Aziz Ojulari from the Giants, they're currently 2-4. Jamin Davis from the Commanders, they're currently 4-2. Josh Uche, that's a name that if you ever watch Dos Dion and I live on Thursdays, we go over a little game previews. That's a name we've spoken of in the past. The Detroit Lions, however, is in a situation where we have acquired another edge rusher to help this team complete their goal of winning a Super Bowl. I think the unfortunate part of this all is that Aiden Hutchinson may not be on that field when that dream is accomplished. I think that's what hurts the most for me. I still think it's a goal that Detroit Lions can accomplish. I think, if anything, they can almost use it as a little bit of motivation. I don't know if you guys remember Kevin Ware from the NCAA tournament, how that kind of helped spark that team. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I know that's the sexy name that everybody wants to hear is Max Crosby. The Raiders have said in the past when teams have reached out, they come with multiple first-round picks. That's probably a name they're not looking to move on from. And I just rather take their reward for it. You don't come along Max Crosby's or Aiden Hutchinson's quite often, but that would be my priority number one by far. Give me Max Crosby and a Detroit Lions jersey. Kid who grew up here in Michigan. He actually went back to his uh, alma mater in Eastern Michigan, and he donated back to them, bought their field, and now their field's named after him, named after Max Crosby. I that would be the guy. I know this may sound a little bit too fanboyish, but it's just that's what you got to do, in my opinion. F them picks. I mean, I know Brad didn't get to see the fruits of his labor to its fruition or to its completion. When he's with the L.A. Rams. However, they went the F them picks route when they traded for Matthew Stafford, and then they acquired Von Miller. And the rest was history. They cashed in and won that Super Bowl. I look at even the year before that with the Tampa Buccaneers. Granted, obviously you have Tom Brady, who is just allergic to not winning Super Bowls unless it's against Eli Manning or backup quarterbacks, I should say. Regardless, though, that's another team that went all in. They acquired bodies on top of bodies. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski. They went and grabbed Antonio Brown. Like, if you already have your foundation, your culture set within the building, or if you have a leader like Tom Brady or a leader like Mike Evans, which I think we do. When you look across the Dan Campbell, I think Ali McNeil's become a voice in that locker room. When I listen to DJ Reader speak, he's very profound, almost like a coach even. See, even Carlton Davis, I mean, a little bit quieter, obviously, but I still think they have that end game, that end goal. And regardless, like I said, the culture's established. Anyway, go acquire those pieces to help take you over the top. It may not even be pieces, maybe just one piece, but I definitely see Brad Holmes making a move. I just don't know what he's willing to mortgage or leverage to make that happen. Me personally, we don't know when Ben Johnson is returning to the team as an offensive coordinator following this season. We don't know if he's going to move forward and take a head coaching job. And I truly believe he's a big part of this. I think you look at the way they gave up the third-round pick to acquire Carlton Davis. They gave up the third-round pick to acquire Terrion Arnold, guys that they planned on starting this year and are starting this year. Shout out to Terrion Arnold, by the way. No DPIs yesterday. Love you for that one. Actually, that entire defensive secondary, no DPIs. Just Alex Anzalone on a little bit of a hold. We'll let it go. But they kind of gone F them picks, just not in a traditional F them picks fashion, not with the first rounders, not with the flashy stuff. I think it's time to go all the way in. I just do. This team, this window, it's not promised. And I don't want to be like the Buffalo Bills who, look at this young and upcoming team and, flash forward, they're kind of stuck in the same rut, return to the same point in the season, just return but next year. They're not the young up and coming team anymore. They've lost pieces. They've had to pay guys. We've had to pay guys. I just think this is the window now. You have enough rookie contracts. You have enough leadership in this locker room. You have enough of a culture and amazing coaching staff to go along with it. Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, if you're out there listening, go all in. Whatever repercussions are from it, you guys make good money. But I can promise you this fan base can forgive you because we know you're in game. We know what the goal is. It was a Super Bowl. You had a Super Bowl in mind when you made these moves. If it takes first round picks to get it, get it. Please. Other than that, again, I'm Easy from Lions Nation Night. Also on the Woodward Heavyweights. You guys check me 5-7 over there, as well as here on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Sundays, and Thursdays. Damn, I'm here quite often. Subscribe. Smash that like button. Be a friend, tell a friend, and share it. I am out. Go Lions.